Hi everyone, welcome to Book Talk. This week we have Aruna Shekar. She is a writer and an educator. She's won several Best Teacher awards. She has over 25 years of experience teaching, and she's lived and worked with children in India, Australia, New Zealand. And today we are here to talk about her first book, and Tulika's latest book, which is Asha, the Auto Driver. It's a beautiful book, and I'm so excited to talk to her about it. Aruna, if you had to sort of just give a description of the book, how would you describe it so people kind of get an idea of what it is?
Sure. Can you all hear me clearly?
Yes, they can hear us. That's why they all gave thumbs up.
Okay, good. Brilliant. Thank you, Sangeeta. And firstly, thank you to Tulika Books for a brilliant job. It's just amazing. The production, the teamwork. It's been excellent working with Tulika Books. Sangeeta, to your question about my book, overall, it's called Asha, the Auto Driver. And it is about her daily trips around the city. And I've structured it from Monday to Sunday just for ease of reading for kids.
Yeah, no, it's a lovely book, and obviously we're gonna get into it. And with that, the first thing I really do want to ask you is, what sort of inspired you to write this story?
Yeah, so many things inspire me. It's things that I see, something that I read. And in this case, it's some of my favorite things like Mallipu. I love jasmine flowers and auto rides. I mean, I love going in an auto. It's fun, especially for short distances. It's convenient. And it zips through traffic, and it's lovely. And I'm sure many of us have had some funny experiences in an auto as well.
Yes, that's true, because it's a very sweet story, and I love that you sort of managed to bring the city alive also. And like I said, the story does follow a lady auto driver. What prompted you to make the protagonist a woman, especially since the sight of a woman auto driver is still not the most common, in a lot of Indian cities and territories. So, what sort of prompted that?
Yeah, that's true. I think generally, my stories do have a female protagonist, and the reason is because I strongly feel that we should celebrate and value some of their contributions. For a long time, women have been sidelined or particularly underrepresented communities. So I think we should be raising their voice and representing them and celebrating some of the many roles that women play in society. Yeah.
No, that's true. I thought it was lovely that I think that's what really also helps set the book apart. I mean, that it is a woman who's sort of like at the center of it. And yeah, so which is great. But also, since you mentioned it's also about kind of a week in our life, and each day kind of bringing different sides of the city, which is, of course, Chennai in this case. Did you kind of, have this in mind when you were writing the book, that you wanted to kind of bring about different aspects of the city, or was this something the pictures helped add?
It was actually from my own memories, really fond memories of being in Chennai, and all the iconic, the central station. It's got
Yeah.
so much of emotion. There's so many times when I met relatives there and traveled from Bangalore to Chennai, and I've taken an auto, and somehow I felt Asha's auto would be different to other autos. I felt that she needed to almost bring out her life in that and show that she loves flowers and she likes color. And Sandhya has done a beautiful job of that. She's done an amazing job of the illustrations. And then, of course, I was just thinking about a child's life, and they go to dance school, they go to games, cricket, football, and yeah, it's going to the beach. Everything is just positive and fun. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it really comes through, because I think you really get a a sense of Chennai with the book, as you kind of flip through and read the story, which is lovely. I mean, of course, with the text, but also, I mean, again, shout out to Sandhya Prabhat for the images. But another, fascinating element about the book is the jasmine flowers, because, Asha, along with being an auto driver, she's also someone who buys jasmine. She's stringing it along, and she's also, selling those in the process. But what's interesting is you've used the jasmine flowers to kind of string the story together in a way as well. How did you sort of come up with that idea?
I think I just woke up with that idea one day. Sometimes I just get these fantastic ideas early in the morning and I rush to the computer and, type it up. I just felt that she would do that, go start off the day by buying a bag of jasmine buds, and then right through the day she strings it. And of course, it blooms and the fragrance is spread in her auto and everywhere else. And she also needs a bit of income, so she sells it to wherever she goes. And it's also about multitasking, and I find that many of us women, we do multitask a lot.
Yes, that's true.
So along with having different roles, like Asha is a mother, a wife, she has a daughter, and she's caring for the family as well as driving the auto. So there are women who do multiple, tasks.
No, that's true, and I think that again really comes through in the book, and it's a lovely touch. So kind of coming back to the illustrations, I think everyone's on the same page in terms of Sandhya Prabhat, being this amazing illustrator, and she's again done a wonderful job with Asha, the auto driver. How do you think the pictures have really added to the story, and which are some of your favorite spreads in the book?
Wow, that's a difficult question. I mean, every page is special. Honestly, Sandhya has done such a wonderful job of the book, the
Yes, yeah,
cover.
the cover, yeah.
I just love all the characters, the expressions on their faces. Um, and if I have to choose, I just love the right at the start, the end papers with all the characters. That's
Yes,
just
that's a lovely one.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And of course, once a person reads through the book, they can even, go to the last page as well, the end paper there, and then guess where Asha meets all these characters. Is it
Yeah.
at the beach, at the station, or at the football game? Where does she meet all these, wow, interesting characters? And I mean, some more. There's just so many favorites. I love the station. That's iconic. That building is an iconic
Yes.
building.
Yes.
And
The train station.
oh, there's just so many. And many of these are common to a number of cities. I mean,
That's true.
the dance class and the beach. And I like the beach scene as well. It reminds me, honestly, some of my classmates, because I studied at Women's Christian College in
Okay.
Nungambakam, WCC.
Oh wow.
And many of my classmates saw this book and they said it takes us all back to, Chennai, where we used to go to the beach together. So here's a
Yeah.
scene where, Asha takes a group of girls to the beach. And oh, that Tenga Manga Patani
Yeah.
Sundal. Love it. I just miss all that here. So yeah, good, really good. The expressions, the spread on the rainy day, that's just brilliant.
That's my
Oh
favorite one. That is my
gosh,
favorite one.
oh, it's just amazing, the expressions on the people. And there's this guy on the motorbike, he doesn't look too happy. It's just fun. And of course, kids can look at this again and again, and
Yeah.
also look for the Tulika, the crow
The
as well
cartoon.
in the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think
it's fun.
Tanya's really put in some Easter egg moments there as well in the book,
Yeah.
so to speak. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's just lovely, the story, and of course the illustrations. I think they come together beautifully, and sort of this book is just so lovely, and highly recommend for parents and kids to pick up a copy. If we have it in English and 8 Indian languages, so please do that. But yeah, coming more to kind of writing for children. As I mentioned earlier, you are an educator. You've been teaching for over 25 years. How do you think being a teacher, being an educator, has sort of helped you in terms of writing for children? Has it influenced you in any way? What has that been like?
Yes, Sangeeta, good question. In many, many ways, it has influenced me. Um, for instance, I'm really passionate about the fact that children should be reading early on.
Mm.
It just develops their skills uh, to think, to learn, to imagine. And I think, especially for picture books, this is a picture book, and yeah, Sandhya's contribution is 50-50. In the picture book, you have minimum text and lots of pictures for children to understand the context and setting of the scenes. And I feel uh, in a picture book, sometimes parents are reading to the
Yeah.
child, and that interaction, that bonding is really good. Or whether it's grandparents or any adult reading it, or a teacher or a librarian reading it for children, they can ask a lot of questions during that interaction. For instance, they can say, pick the actions where Asha is showing some kindness,
Mm.
or where is a certain scene. So things like that. It just makes the whole opportunity sort of. It enhances that because you can use that as an opportunity to explain a few things to children. Yeah.
No, no, that's
And of
lovely.
course, yeah. And as an educator, I believe in lifelong learning. I'm still learning. I'm learning a lot of things. Having started this career now as a second career after my lecturing, and I think it's really, really important for children to be curious,
Hmm.
to want to ask questions and learn, and just when they read a physical book, I think it's a lot more interactive and it's more active rather than just passively watching or looking at a device. I think this is definitely a more active approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I mean, I think it really comes through in your writing as well. I think it's very thoughtful. I think that's something that really struck me, the way you've written Asha the auto driver, like the detailing also you've put in, of course. I mean, again, Sandhya's pictures, I think like you rightly said, it is a 50-50 partnership in that way, where everything kind of comes together. But yeah, you have written other books as well. So, what's the most memorable thing a child has said to you about your writing?
Yeah, well, I've read some books in a local school here, primary school, and little girl came after I finished reading, and she came and said, "Can you write some more stories tomorrow?"
Oh
And
wow!
I thought, wow. I thought, okay. So I said, sure. Then I said, what would you like to read about? And she said, purple butterflies.
Oh,
And
so
I thought,
cute.
okay. So I did actually write about purple butterflies, and there's one there, and so it's really cute. I just enjoy the interaction with children, and sometimes they even find things that are funny that I may not have thought of.
You
For
were
instance, so
talking
what I
about.
was saying is correct. Children find things funny. They laugh out loud. That's great. That sort of reaction is so enjoyable. Yeah, and I mean, um, it's interesting. When an earlier version, I did have Asha actually feed a hungry dog some of her lunch, and I noticed that. Sunday actually put that in one of the in the
Oh,
football game. She's
oh
sharing
yes,
her
yes,
food
yeah, yeah, yeah.
with a little dog. Yeah, I thought that's amazing. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
No, no,
there's
it's
lots of little details there that people can enjoy.
yeah. No, no, for sure. And finally, what is something you would like for readers to take away from Asha the Auto Driver?
Yeah, so at the surface, of course, it's about Asha doing these auto rides and picking up and dropping passengers all over the city. But underlying, there are subtle messages, some really, really good messages for children, but it's very subtle. For instance, Asha is very kind to people. She's very cheerful. She's also breaking stereotypes by, driving an auto in a very male-dominated occupation. And I know that there are a few now, but not enough. I mean, we should
Yeah.
have 50-50 again. Why not? And in fact, the funny thing is, I bought an auto,
Oh,
and
wow. That's so
yeah,
cute.
and they decorated it and all that. But there's a little guy there, and I said, hey, you makers should change that. So anyone who's listening, please write to the makers and tell them to add a little girl Asha in it. So I got a little puppet here.
Oh,
Yeah.
if anyone's
So I
interested in
think,
merchandising, please reach out.
oh, we really need to make some changes like that. They should be making autos with female drivers as well.
That
And
is true.
then I think just generally the message of, being nice to all the service people,
Yes.
shopkeepers, vegetable wala, gardeners, postmen, anyone, all these people, you shouldn't take it for granted. We should be thankful and grateful for their contributions to society.
No,
Yeah.
that is very true. And I think, just to kind of add, I think what I love is you've given Asha a lot of like dignity with her profession in this book, which is really, it is really lovely to see. And yeah, on that note, we've come to the end of this book talk. Thank you so much for being here, Aruna. It was lovely talking to you and kind of learning more about your process for Asha, the auto driver. Um,
Thank you. Thank you, Sangeeta, and thanks to everyone. Just mention my website is arunashekar.com. Aruna Shekar's one word. And of course, if you want to get the book, you can go to tulikabooks.com. And within India, it's available in 9 languages, so you can choose your
yes.
language of preference. And outside of India, the delivery is still minimum of 3 books, which is really very, very worth it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Aruna. And yes, like she said, Asha the Auto
Bye-bye.
Driver is now available in our store and on our website in English and 8 Indian languages. So please do go and pick up a copy. And yes, we do ship overseas as well. So please do go and pick up a copy and pick up some of our other books as well. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, Aruna. It was lovely
Thank
talking
you.
to you. Have a
Bye.
great evening. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.